Thank you so much for tuning in to Rap Sessions with Dr. Kiki. It is always a pleasure to chat with you every week, 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. You can take a listen also on Spotify. There are several other digital platforms at which you can hear Dr. Kiki speaks. Welcome on behalf of Quantum Talks 8.0. That's the platform that is bringing you this program. We want to tell you that if perchance you or someone else that you know are maybe going through, having a hard time, even if it's knowing how to properly manage time, it doesn't have to be some big major crises. We definitely are available to assist, to coach you to the finish line. Please feel free to share, like, subscribe, Quantum Talks 8.0 on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And we would definitely love the opportunity to be able to assist you wherever you are in life. Today, we're going to talk about the subject today is, for those who need to know, the subject today is users. Users, U-S-E-R-S. We need to be very cautious in this season of those who seek to leech off of others. It's something that most people wouldn't even consider doing. It's not something that excites, or it's not even on their list of things to do in terms of using someone. Most people are willing to give even their last in an effort to help, to promote, to assist. And that's wonderful. We need more people like that. But even in that frame of mind, or in that posture of giving, in that position of being able to have compassion and love, you must establish boundaries, because users don't have any. So if you don't have boundaries, then you will let's just be real. You could very well just become a source of using, and then what's in it for you? People will use you all up, use up all your resources, use all your connections, use all your money, use all your this, that, and the other. And then when you're down to nothing, 9 times out of 10, they disappear. So you've got to learn how to recognize what your own boundaries are, and be able to recognize when those boundaries have been crossed. Many times, most folks look at other people as a friend or colleague, or someone who, even in the family, that, oh, that's our blood, I love this person. It doesn't matter who the person is. Most times, you don't necessarily recognize a user until you've been used, like used with several S's in there, okay? But we want to start seeing things from what they are straight off the gate. It's important for us to treat others the way we want to be treated, but never at the expense of ourselves, never at the expense of using yourself up. If you give your last cup of rice away, what are you going to eat? If you give your last $2 away, what are you going to have for resources to purchase? You know, yes, we should be compassionate, we should be giving, we should be caring, but we should not do so at the expense of using ourselves all the way up, or allowing someone else to do it. That's just not what we do. And you have to be willing to be assertive enough to say no. You have to be willing to be assertive enough to say, oh, this is where I'm going to draw the line. Like, no, I'm sorry, it's a firm no. And not feel guilty, not feel bad, not feel, oh, well, don't let people guilt you into what they want you to do, okay? It might start off being a little strange, saying, no, I'm sorry, I can't do it. Oh, well, no, not this time. But I found that sometimes you have to offer tough love for yourself. for the greater good of the situation. Because if you don't, at a point, people will just use you all the way up. They don't think about it. It's what they want in the moment, and they'll do whatever they can to get it. And you have to make sure that you're not being sacrificed, your peace of mind, your health, your joy, your strength, your funds, your resources, your name, because someone else has another agenda. I'll never forget, my husband and I were invited to be a part of a movie. And it was started off as a play. And so we were all excited, like, oh my God, this is great. We got our scripts, there was talk about Broadway and traveling, and we're going to send you the contract, and where's your writer and all this stuff. What do you want? Anything you want? How much you need to be paid? On and on and on. And of course we're like, oh wow, this is awesome. Wow, we've been praying. God is good. But we got to understand that every opportunity is not sent to you from God. Everything that people say that they're doing really means a hill of beans unless there's action put with it. I'm not sure why in our religious circles there is this hesitancy to call a spade, call a spade a spade. Like there is this hesitancy to say, oh, well, no, if the snake is standing there slithering, it's a snake, if people are showing you the fruits and the characteristics of who their heart truly is postured to, then that's what you should believe, not who you think they are or who you're wishing for them and you're wanting the best. And oh my God, this is the answer to the prayer, so I'm willing to look the other way. Well, I remember being so excited, trying to clear my schedule, adjusting things that I had going on so I could still meet my obligations as well as be a part of something that I thought was an opportunity of a lifetime. Keyword, thought. So I remember us being invited to a table read. And so I was like, oh my God, this is awesome. And, everyone knows that Carlisle is very involved in the acting in the movie and the television scene. And I'm not sure that very many people knew that I act. So I have been in drama and several productions and things of that nature. And I also write plays. And as a writer, you can write pretty much anything. And I thank God for the opportunity to be able to say so and be able to do so. But anyway, we were invited to the table read and met some fabulous people along the way. But little did we know, we were not invited because of the same reasons that we were under the impression and that we were told we were invited for. Come to find out, we were invited to make it look like we were like the watchdogs of the people who don't want to behave and don't want to listen. And there was conversations that later took place that revealed the true reason for the so-called opportunity. Okay, like I said, every opportunity is not an opportunity. So we were, oh my God, this is great. Oh wow, yeah. But come to find out, on the real strength of things, we were introduced, and the rumor mill would have it that we were there to be the eyes and ears of the producers and the executive team and things of that nature. Now, imagine trying to learn your parts, build a rapport, showing up, doing what you can towards the production, just being all that you can be, not having a clue that you're put there and there is an automatic distrust because of the true reason that you're there. You're there to, to report on people and tell, well, first of all, that's not what we do. I will say I work with several different sectors of the population in different avenues. And one of the strengths that I think I bring to the table is the ability to leave that situation where it was. I don't have to run tell this and run tell that. Like I can, as an agent, you have to deal with confidentiality and everything else. I can handle this situation here, move on, and still move on through what I need to move on through. So, long story short, it wasn't that many days hence, as the Bible would say. It wasn't that many more days hence that my husband and I were like, you know what, this ain't right. No, we didn't agree. And we told the people, we didn't agree to come in here to be your watchdogs and keep people in line. We're here because we want to act. We love what we do, and had that been clear of your real intentions, full well we would not have agreed to it. And it was just a whole bunch of just nonsense. And of course, the scenario resolved itself. We withdrew ourselves from that production. And I have some really good friendships through that process because people were honest with me regarding what they were told. Like, had they not opened up, it would have just been assumed that, oh my God, this is why they're here. And it could have put like a wedge in between certain friendships and relationships over time. So why am I mentioning this? Because I'm not bitter. I feel like what's for you is going to be for you. You don't have to beg, borrow, steal. You can live a fruitful life. And when it is your time, it's your time. And what God says, go is go. When God says no, it's no. But I'm sharing this because in this season, it's so important to be mindful and in a frame of mind to discern who's around you, what opportunities there are, what doors are opening, what is the fine print of what you think you're agreeing to. Because sometimes it might look like an opportunity, but really it's so that people can further use you. And I promise, and I promise, and I promise again, the only source that can use me is God. And I mean that. Lord, any way you want to use me, Lord. But I because I am such a giver, we're givers. Even when and if we don't have, we connect people to the resources that they need so they can still get what they need. In addition to that, prayer warrior is an understatement. And I'm not bragging about it, but I know how to pray. I know how to beseech God's throne. I know how I know how to pray and get results. So I'm never worried about things and material things, because as long as you're doing God's will, those things materialize. They come. You don't have to search for them. You don't have to beg, borrow, steal. You don't have to, do something regrettable so that you won't miss out on opportunities. It will flow to you. But in this season, because there's a lot of job cuts, there's a lot of inflation, and resources are seemingly scarce, it is more important to check your environment. Who's in your car? Who's in your truck? Who's on the plane with you? Who's on that train with you? Who's pedaling that bicycle with you? Who's walking with you? Check to see, are you being used? And be strong enough to draw the line and say, if it is true that you're being used? Say not anymore. Not anymore. People will use your the likeness of you. Oh, I know so-and-so, just to get in the door. Or yeah, I work with so-and-so. Oh, we grew up together. And honestly, if they had to pick you out of a lineup, they probably couldn't, because they've really not had any contact with you in so long. In this season, be mindful of people who are just sitting around watching and scoping and taking notes. Is that a friend or a foe? Is that someone just gathering information so that they can tell all your business? And it's definitely not to scare anybody and to promote some type of animosity or anything. But sometimes in our circles, we are very naive. We are really just, oh my God, that person worships because, oh my God, they got up and said, I like to thank my Lord and Savior. I like to thank God. And that doesn't mean that's a true child of God, not that we're judging. But it's time for people to stop being so naive and stop being used and stop letting people take you to the bank before your check even get to the bank. Take you to the cleaners and you didn't even realize you had any dry cleaning to pick up. Like, it's in this season, because I'm telling you, the blessings are starting to pour. The doors are starting to open. The rhema is starting to fall. And we can't be so caught up in the blessings that we don't protect ourselves against the swine. Okay, what does the Bible speak of the swine? They're going to sit up and what? Consume your pearls. Okay, don't cast your pearls before the swine. Okay, it takes a long time to develop a pearl. So why would you have gone through so much trials and tribulations and worked hard and you've experienced certain things and you sacrificed and on and on and on just to be careless in this season? No more being used. No more being pushed aside. No more being thrown away. No more abuse. No more. You've got to develop it within yourself that it's not going to happen anymore. Not on your watch. Not to you. Not on my watch. Not to me. Users come in all kind of shapes, forms. They're everywhere. But you've got to discern and make a decision. It's not enough to say, yeah, I knew about that. You've got to make a decision. So please think about it. What are your actions and interactions? If you're giving way more than you receive in any transaction, you might want to consider that this is a source where you're being used. Okay, I'm not saying you can't help people. I have benefited from the wonderful help of people. I am also not saying that people should just sit there with the expectation that you're going to help them. I will help you as long as I see you're helping yourself. It's just the way it is. And I understand life happens, but you can't lay up and think people should do certain things for you when you're not making the effort yourself. So if people are not making the effort or whatever the scenario is, write it down, put it on a sheet of paper and figure out, is this worth it? Is this happening? Is this right? Okay. Lastly, I want to share, we have so many positive things happening. If you would like to be involved, please follow our social media pages. Mr. Carlisle is at I am Mr. Carlisle on Instagram. He is on Facebook at Carlisle E. Williams. I am on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at I am Kiki Michelle. Our pages are there for your information. Feel free to see how we could partner, or if you want to be involved in an event, whatever it is that we have going on, it is ministry. So find out how you can be involved or your loved ones can be involved, and we would love to have you. Please save the date for Saturday, March the 18th. That is our Kiki Global Quarterly Empowerment Conference. It will be virtual. It's going to be life-changing. Our subject and theme will be domestic violence. Okay, it's the elephant in the room. It's the thing people don't want to talk about. And we always think about domestic violence in terms of a woman being hurt. But we're going to talk about what domestic violence is and how you can recognize the signs and the resources to change your environment. Until next time, stay blessed, stay lifted. Know that no weapon formed against you shall ever be able to prosper. You are God's choice. And guess what? The Bible already declares that you win. All right? God bless.